What are we looking over there? Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about something that is super important. I just wanted to bring something to the light. Pretty regularly, like at least once a week, I will get comments from people telling me about their lives and what they've been going through and all about their anxiety and their depression and bullying and just feeling very discontent with their lives. Whether that's like with their school lives or their family lives or just everything. I just became aware of this pattern and I couldn't ignore it. I just kept getting these comments and I was like, I have to bring this to the light somehow and let you guys know that you are not alone. Yeah, you're not alone in your anxiety, in your depression, in your feelings of discontent. Life is freaking weird and you are not alone in those feelings. I personally have anxiety and I've had panic attacks recently, which is not something I usually get, but like, it's awful. Like it really is. And I totally relate to you guys. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I watched a TED Talk the other day that was super eye-opening for me. I will put the link to the TED Talk in the description box. This guy explained anxiety and depression in a way that I've never heard it explained before. And it just really made sense. His basic point is that anxiety and depression is not something that is wrong with you. It's really just your body signaling that something is wrong in the world around you, in your circumstances, in your situation. And it's kind of like this inner signal that's alerting you, like something's not right. But what you have to remember, what I have to remember, and all of us have to remember, is that that signal, that feeling, even though the feeling is like awful, it doesn't make you powerless and it doesn't make you weak. It's just alerting you that something's not right. What I've been thinking about too lately, especially as I've been thinking through plans, like life plans for like after high school, stuff like that, I guess I've just been realizing how weird our world is. Like I've been having some weird thoughts about like our world. The system that we live in is kind of corrupt and weird. And there's this quote from this TED Talk and it says, "We live in a machine that is designed to get us to neglect what is important about life." And I think that's so true. And I think that that is why we are seeing the numbers of anxiety and depression and suicides and all of these awful things on the rise. I think it's because of the world we live in the society we've created. We are taught to be motivated by worldly success, by money and power and influence, and that stuff's not fulfilling if you don't have anything greater that you're working towards or that you believe in, or just a greater understanding of the importance of yourself. As I've been getting all these comments from all of you guys, I was just like, how can we make a difference in a world that is self-destructive and self-deceiving? How can we create something meaningful in this platform? Because this is a wonderful part of the world we live in today. I think that YouTube and all of the social media platforms can and are used in bad ways or in ways that just aren't really beneficial to people, but I think that they can and are used in ways that are really cool and really enlightening. How can I use this space and how can we use this space in a way that will create more of a community? Because there's clearly so many people just on this little part of the internet that have these feelings. Like, how can we use this place for good and for healing and for feeling like we're not alone? That's another point that was brought up in this TED Talk, is that we live in the loneliest society that's ever existed in history, which is so ironic because we have the ability to be so highly connected, but we've really disbanded our tribes. We've really created a lonely place to exist, it really is ironic and weird, but it's so true. We can't feel like we're alone in this. I think that when we feel lonely or we feel sad, depressed, anxious, all of these feelings, people say to be yourself, to work through it. And a lot of that is kind of like referring to doing that on your own, but we need to do that together. We need to do that in a way that binds us together, that links us together, because we're all going through the same things and we can make such an impact on each other if we really focus on that. You're not alone. The feelings you're feeling should never make you feel powerless. They should never make you feel weak. They should never make you feel crazy. And this is my experience with anxiety. I can't speak for like anything else, and I don't want to like compare my experience to anyone else's because I think everyone experiences things differently and I don't want it to like take anything away from anyone else. But anxiety for me, especially when I'm like really going through it, it makes me feel like the world is like going on around me and I'm just like stuck in my head in this like inner battle of just like fear and self-doubt, and it's just, ugh. I had a panic attack recently and it was just like, it just made me feel so powerless. But I was really able to use my inner power, the power of my mind and my spirit, to like lift me out of that, like that specific panic attack. And it reminded me of how strong I really am. And I just want to remind you guys of your strength. Even if you feel like you're powerless and weak, you're not. You really are so strong. People can say over and over again, oh, you're not alone, like other people are experiencing this, like it's okay. But like, you don't know that and you don't feel that until you really join together and realize that you're not alone. But if we all just stay isolated in our place, which is easy to do. I mean, I do that all the time. That is like something that I just like, it's easy to stay in your own head and to not reach out and to not extend yourself in a way that could potentially help you. But when we join together, it just proves that we're not alone. So I wanted to ask you guys this question, because I think it'll be something that can kind of get the conversation going, because it doesn't end here. The conversation is just starting and it'll just continue to grow. So here's the question. What is a moment that you've had in your life where you actually felt you had meaning and purpose? And how could you dedicate more of your life to pursuing these moments? So I would say a moment that I've had recently in my life that created meaning and purpose was over the summer. I had a job as a housekeeper, or a maid, whatever you want to call it, with my sister, and we were cleaning beach houses all summer, and it was honestly the time of my life. It was so fun. Oddly enough, it was actually great. But the reason why it was great, as I was kind of thinking about this question earlier, was because I finally felt like I was a part of something greater than myself. And I hadn't felt that in a long time, because I haven't been a part of a group or a team since I was in like 8th grade. So like 5 years ago. And that's a long time. So it just felt really good to feel like I was a part of something, because I could clearly see that I was benefiting myself in the way that I was working hard, learning new skills, and making money. But I was also cleaning houses, and I knew that I was getting places ready for families to come on vacation. So it was kind of just like this rewarding feeling where the benefit was like mutual. And it was a really great experience for me. And I would say that that really created a meaningful moment in my life. It wasn't easy for me to want to get a job. And it's not always easy for me to go out and to do things that I'm not necessarily fully inclined to do, whether that's like joining a team or just making a point of like getting myself out. It's so rewarding to get yourself out of your own head and to know that like, hey, I did this, like I've made the point of doing something different. So I guess that would be my moment of meaning and purpose, which is kind of funny because it's like a job, and it's like you think of a job as being like, ugh. I seriously look back at that time and I just like smile, like I can't help but smile and like think of how good that felt for me. And I know it's because of that deeper feeling I had of purpose. A way that I could dedicate more of my life to that feeling is by using those feelings in a good way towards my true interests, right? Because I don't want to be a housekeeper or a maid all my life. I might get some happiness from that now, but I can guarantee you if I had to do that all my life, I would not be happy. So I have to use that feeling I got, that feeling that didn't really come from cleaning toilets and cleaning up disgusting kitchens where her college kids had clearly thrown a party and there was taco meat everywhere and it was disgusting. I really didn't get the joy from that necessarily, but from the meaning and the purpose I gained from that. I will use that meaning and purpose I gained through my interests, which is filming and telling stories and creating something that I love. And I hope that I can give you a little seed of that meaning so that you can plant something with it and feel purpose start to grow in your life. Because it's there, it's definitely there. And I totally get that it's hard to move past the feelings that make you feel like you're a prisoner in your own body. But you can, like you really can, and you will. But it takes time and it takes community. It takes people who will listen to you. It takes people who care about you. And I'm here to say that I care about you, and I genuinely mean that. And there are people in this community who care about you too and who are going through the same things. So please never forget that, and never lose hope, and never lose that meaning, because you have so much meaning in you. You are here with a purpose. So I hope that if anything today, you're reminded that you're strong and that you are so powerful and you will see changes, and that the signals in your brain and in your heart that are telling you that something's wrong are real, but it's not you that's wrong. You are not wrong. It's what's going on in our corrupt world, but we don't have to live in a world that's corrupt. It can make our piece of the world a beautiful place, but it takes working together to do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you are doing good today, and that even if you're feeling bad, sad, depressed, anxious, discontent, all of these things, I hope that you know that it won't last forever, and there is so much hope in this world. I love you guys. I truly believe in you, and times are getting better. They're going to get better, and I just have a feeling that we can join together to do something really cool. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments down below. Just remember that this space is not my space, it's our space. It's a place where we can all come together to not feel so alone. Share with me a moment that made you feel like you had meaning and purpose in the comments down below. I can't wait to read all of your responses, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd.